Hello again, Dinky Danny here. Today I'd like to show you the games that I picked up for the month of August 2010. I ran into some great deals at the flea market, found some really cool games, but before I show you those, I'd like to thank one of my subscribers. His name is LunkyN64. He sent me a game this past week. It's a Commodore 64 game, and he saw in my video that I just got a Commodore 64 disk drive. He doesn't have a Commodore 64, so he sent it out, and it's complete in great shape. It's called The Battle of the Bulge, Tigers in the Snow. And I've never played this game. I can't remember if my grandma had it when I was young, but he decided to send it over to me, so I'm really looking forward to trying this out. Looks like a strategy-style game, and really looking forward to having some fun with it. So thanks, LunkyN64. Everybody check out his channel. He's got some cool gaming videos. I'll put a link in the description. Next up, in the very beginning of the month, I already showed this in one of my videos, my flea market video, I found a gold Nintendo 64. Basically what this is a Toys R Us special release model for the 64, and I got it for $25, and it's worth a good bit more than that. It's pretty collectible, kind of rare, so really cool to find this. And then also, what I already showed in a video just recently, in my boxed NES collection, I ran into this boxed NES and also the action set and a bunch of Nintendo boxes. So if you haven't seen that video, check out my boxed NES Nintendo collection, and I also got a lot of these boxed games there. In that video, I showed that I got River City Ransom, just the box, and I was looking for the game, and I'd never run into it. And seriously, like the weekend after I made that video, I ran into River City Ransom at the flea market. I paid $8. It was a pretty good deal. I mean, the guy wanted 10, and he knocked it down to 8 for me. So now I have River City Ransom complete. And I haven't even tried playing the game yet. My friend really wanted me to play this, and he's been on vacation, so I gotta wait until he comes back to play it. And the other Nintendo game that I was really looking forward to is The Adventures of Lolo 2. And I remember playing this when I was young, and I've always been looking for the cartridges, and they're pretty expensive. So I got the second one. I still need Lolo 1 and 3. I think the third one's the most expensive, but really happy to get this one. I really enjoy this. I have the first one on the Virtual Console, so I play it on there. Also at the flea market, I ran into a great deal on an Intellivision. I got this for $20, and it works. It needs a little bit of cleaning. It's not exactly in the best shape, but I mean, it works alright. I just need to clean it up a little bit. And that came with about 8 games. And also with that, I got this Intellivoice voice synthesis module, and I'm not exactly sure what this does. Apparently you need it for some of the games, so I haven't tried anything out with this, but I mean, it came with it, so for $20 that was a really good deal. And I never had an Intellivision, never played it before, so was looking forward to trying that out. And another thing that I could not believe, it happened twice this month. The first one, I was out at the flea market, and I was walking around, and this guy had a box of Atari games. And I already have a lot of the, common Atari games. Usually when you're out at flea markets, you see the same Atari games over and over. And I walked up to him, and it was a box of about 30 games. I asked him how much he wanted. He said $2 a piece. So I definitely wasn't going to pay for that. I walked around the flea market, and I had some leftover money at the end of the day. So I'm walking around, and I come back. I go up to him, and I say, I'm looking to just buy the whole box. What's the best you can do? And he said $20. And I really only had 15 bucks on me, so I told him I'd pay him $10, figuring he'd maybe go to 15. And he said fine for $10. I didn't even have to negotiate at all. So he sold me it for $10. I bring it back home, and I'm looking through the box, and just, pulling out probably 8 games that I hadn't had, so all the rest are duplicates. And I find a $5 bill in the box. So essentially I got the box for $5 for 30 Atari games, so that's cool. I have tons of duplicates. And then just this past weekend I was out at the flea market again, and I ran into another box of Atari games, and I'll show you this box. And I walked up, and this is the box that I saw sitting there. It's this huge box, and inside of it there's an Atari system and a bunch of games. There were 60 games in this thing. So the guy wanted a good bit of money for it. He wanted like $100. And I told him I was looking to pay maybe like $35 or something. I usually, I have most of these games, but there were some in here that I hadn't already had. So he ended up selling me the box for $45, which is an okay deal. But the reason that I got it is because the Atari that was in it is the Darth Vader model. And if you take a close look on that, normally the Ataris are wood grained, and this one's completely black. I just really like what it looks like. It's all black, and it just looks really cool. So I figured I'd add this one to my collection, and was pretty happy with the purchase. And then all the games, I mean, I got some games that I hadn't already had, so I built my collection a little bit, but now I have tons of Atari 2600 duplicates, and I also have about 3 Atari 2600s just extras sitting around. So if anybody wants an Atari 2600, let me know if you want to do a trade or anything. And another cool thing that came in this box is this kids controller, and it's kind of like just a number pad, and it goes with these games that I saw here. The first one's Cookie Monster Munch, Oscar's Trash Race. They're all Sesame Street games. Big Bird's Egg Catch, and this one's actually kind of rare, worth a little bit of money. And then also Alpha Beam with Ernie. So it was kind of cool getting that as kind of like a collection. So I have the control pad that I need for that, and then the 4 games. And after one of the flea markets, I was driving home, and I was just coming home. I only had about $10 left, and I ran into a garage sale just right on my way home. And I decided to stop in. They had a bunch of little kids stuff, you know, clothing and toys. And I asked them if they had any video game systems. And they said that they had just dropped off all their old games at Goodwill. So, I mean, within the past couple weeks, they said. So I was about to leave, and the guy said, "Oh, I think I might have a Super Nintendo here." And he said, you know, I'm looking for $15 for it. And I told him I only had 10 because that's all the cash I had on me. And he said, "All right, well, I'll take $10. He goes inside, gets the Super Nintendo. It had all the cables and 2 controllers. And I already had the Super Nintendo, but my friend was looking for Super Nintendo, same one that wants to play River City Ransom. And I walked in, and the guy said, "Oh, there are a couple games with it." And he had Super Mario All-Stars, Legend of Zelda, Link to the Past, Donkey Kong Country, and Mega Man X. And at first, I mean, I told him I only had $10. That's all the cash I had. And I was going to run up the street and go to the ATM and get a couple extra dollars for those games, because there's some nice games. And he said just don't even worry about it. He just gave me those 4 games with it. So I paid $10 for a working Super Nintendo and those 4 games. So really great deal. I was happy about that. And then also out of Goodwill, I ran into Super Mario Kart for $2.95. And I've actually never owned this Mario Kart. It's one of the best versions of the game. And I'm really happy to have this now. Also, just kind of random to throw in here, I got Jurassic Park, the movie. I just love this movie. I saw it out at Walmart for like a couple dollars. And at the flea market also, I got Scorcher for the Sega Saturn for $1. Crash Team Racing. I used to play this over my friend's house all the time, and we had a blast with it, and I never owned it. I always played it over his place. So now I have a copy. I got this for like $3. And then I also got 2 box sets of the anime Rurouni Kenshin. And comes off the cover. And inside it's got, I think, 6 DVDs per set. Or no, actually it's 8 because they have them on the front and the back. So it's an 8 DVD box set. And I got 2 of these, so it's the complete series. And this is one of my favorite anime series of all time. So really happy to get that. I got both box sets for $10. I just couldn't believe that they had it up there. I hardly ever run into any anime at the flea markets, but I saw those and just had to pick them up. The next things I already showed in an earlier video for TI-99/4A games is Donkey Kong and Centipede. And the last thing that I got, I've been looking for this at the flea markets for so long. I looked on eBay. It always costs $20 to $30. It's one of my favorite board games ever. And I just can't find it over my parents' house or anything. And I've been really wanting to play it and try it out again. And the game is Stratego. It's a really fun strategy game. You set up all your pieces. I might even do a review on it because I absolutely loved playing this. You set up all your pieces, and your opponent has to capture your flag, and they have to move through your pieces. And if they hit a bomb, they just, you know, they lose their character or their piece. And it's just really a lot of fun to play. If anyone's played this, let me know, because I haven't run into that many people who know what this game is, and it's really fun. So, those are the games that I got in the month of August. Also, I picked up Scott Pilgrim, the game on Xbox Live Arcade, and I had so much fun with it. I had 2 friends over, played it co-op, and it was so much fun. Definitely worth the $10. I also saw the movie. The movie was pretty good, but the game is just excellent. Everybody who likes co-op games, just pick the game up. I might do a review of it. And it was really cool because they don't support online multiplayer. It was designed for local co-op, and it was just a lot of fun to have my friends over to my place, just play the game all in the same room, and you had to, if your friend got knocked out, you'd have to run over and press the button real fast to resurrect them and things like that. So, really cool game. And then I also rented Metroid Other M, and I really enjoyed that. I had a lot of fun with it. It wasn't a perfect Metroid game. You know, I like Super Metroid and the original Metroid more. But I had a lot of fun with it. They had a few quirks, but the controls turned out really nicely. I was worried about how you have to turn the controller forward to do a first-person view, but it worked out really well. It was real smooth, switching from side-scrolling, first-person, and just a really fun game overall. I'd probably say, you know, it's worth about $30 to me. If you can rent it, go out and rent it. And if you're the type of person who likes to run around and collect all kinds of items, you'll probably get a full $50 value out of it. So those are the things that I got in the month of August 2010. I'm Dinky Dana, and thanks for watching.